it's been 8 years, and we've had 2.5 Fallout games come out.
Yeah,
Can
about that.
can I take you back to the evening that you and I spent at Not Your Average Joe's, splitting a bottle of wine, going nuts over what ultimately was a giant hoax, but it was that website that like teasers were going up about Fallout 4 before Fallout 4 was actually announced.
And it was the Tunnel Snakes rule.
Yeah, it ended
Was
with
it
Tunnel
that?
Snakes rule because Bethesda reached out and told them you got to stop. So they ended up blowing the lid on it. And
I had completely forgotten about that because of how betrayed I felt. So thank you for bringing up that past trauma because that hurt so bad.
it was so oh god,
I was crushed.
it was so clever though. It was this website was just like every couple days it would be updated with like radio transmissions, like transcripts of radio transmissions that were essentially detailing a nuclear strike happening. But the timestamps were all, October 23rd, 2077, when, when the Great War happens. And it was all locations around Massachusetts. It was like the Air Force bases of Otis Air Force Base and the whatever it was, a Quabbin Reservoir. It was detailing all the impact points in Massachusetts.
Yeah, and it just but then I mean, funny enough, 4 came out and it was in Boston. So
It was a worst kept secret because after that hoax came and went, Jason Schreier, who's like one of the I would argue one of the most reputable journalists in video games today. He's a Bloomberg now, but he used to be at Kotaku. And he's the one that will report on upcoming projects and the state of video game studios and the incredibly toxic culture behind them. He just revealed a bunch of stuff about Grand Theft Auto 6 a couple weeks ago.
oh wait, what?
Yeah.
I missed that.
Yeah, he revealed that it's going to have the main character is going to be female.
Oh wait, no, I did hear that. Yeah. And of course, okay, I'm not even gonna get into it. Yep, no, I'm up to speed now. Thank you.
Now we just need Rockstar Games to actually come out and confirm it's Vice City. Jason Schreier's confirmed it's Vice City. We just need now Rockstar to come out and solidify that.
And you know what's interesting? Talking about Grand Theft Auto, I think the first podcast that I was on was where I was playing GTA. Was it GTA 5?
It was GTA 5. It just come out. It came out the day before, I think.
And you know what's interesting is for a while I dabbled in GTA roleplay,
Nice. Okay.
5 months ago or so.
Okay.
So I finally was able to go around because I think when I played, I was just like running along a highway. I think I got like eaten by a puma or something. It was disastrous.
I didn't even know that cougars were in the game until you got killed by
until I got
one.
mauled by one. I was like, you didn't tell me these were here. But I ended up playing that years and years later. So it's all coming full circle.
You had the advantage of that game getting the Skyrim treatment. It's been re-released so many times on every generation of consoles and PC.
Yeah. And the role play scene is really big on Twitch. But goodness, I don't have the improv skills for that kind of thing. So it was interesting. It was an interesting experiment, but also the game is just massive. I don't have enough storage space, so
Yeah.
I had to go.
Yeah, I've admittedly purchased it on every platform because I am without pride. That's just the kind of person that I am.
Sorry, I took a sip. Hey, no shame. No shame.
There's just silence. I say that and it's just crickets.
I'm deadpan. I have no reaction.
So Jason Schreier, he reveals the things before they're officially revealed. So he revealed that when this whole hoax comes and goes, that Bethesda was scouting in Boston and that the next Fallout game would indeed be in Boston. And then a year later, we got the trailer and it was in Boston.
Yeah, it was awesome. And I remember at the time, I was doing a little bit of workout in Boston. And so you'd see the buses with, Vault Boy on it. And I was so excited. It was so great to just run around in Boston for all the problems that the game, did have. I mean, I'm not an FPS snob, so I can't tell the difference between 30 FPS and 60 FPS to save my life. I cannot tell you the difference. So I'm like, it's all the same to me. I'm having a great time.
I actually discovered that. Cool. I discovered that recently because I got the I have the Xbox Series S, which is the less powerful of the two new ones, and Fallout. All the Bethesda games are on Game Pass. Game Pass, by the way, but what an invention!
Oh, I love it. I love it.
But I fire up Fallout 4 on that because all the last gen games and before are all automatically upgraded to 60 FPS.
Oh.
And I noticed that difference. It never dawned on me with Fallout 4 until I started playing it on the new Xbox.
But you can register it? I can't register it. Like, I've got bad eyesight, as you know, so.
I think maybe just because, like, there wasn't that much, like, time between, like, the last time I played it on, I unhooked the old Xbox, plugged the new one in, and both times I'm playing Fallout. So it was like
back to back.
Yeah, it was an instantaneous reaction. So I can see it, but I can also understand because there's also, I can't really tell the difference between like 60 and 120 because like you can go up to 120, and I can't.
Goodness, I would not even know. I can tell when it's like really bad. But other than that, I'm just having a great time. So I'm just like, doo-doo-doo.
And I was playing Fallout 3 on PS3 last night, and I managed to get that thing down to 5 frames a second.
Oh my goodness.
Because that game does not run on PS3.
Oh gosh, how was that? Must have been a mess. That must have just been a mess.
I was just waiting for it to crash. I was just waiting for it to just freeze and crash, and it went through. I sat there and just waited for it, and it was in a VAT sequence. I'm only playing it on PS3. That's the only version of the game I have that's Game of the Year.
Oh, okay, sure, yeah.
So I admittedly have never played any of the. Well, no, I've played some of the DLC for Fallout 3, but I'm about to start Point Lookout. I've never played Point Lookout before.
Oh, you've got to do the DLCs then. Yeah, you got to finish those. They're really good.
Yeah, the Pit was great. I want to get back into 76 because they're doing a whole Pit DLC.
Yeah, I was intrigued, but I was like, I don't know if that's enough to bring me back to 76. I was just so in it for so long. I had to step away for a little bit. I could not do another silo run. I was like, I'm done. And then they got rid of Nuclear Winter, and I enjoyed Nuclear Winter. So,
how long did you play 76 for?
A year and a half, maybe. I didn't really like it at launch. I did not like the lack of NPCs. It felt way too lonely to me. So I got into it with the Wastelanders update. And then I did like my leveling and then got to end game. And then I stopped. God, when did I stop? I can't even remember when I stopped. I just kind of phased out of it. So I think it was like a year and a half.
Okay. I did the same exact thing. I waited until Wastelanders came out. I'm happy I did. The game is a lot more positively received after Wastelanders came out, but it's still, I mean, it's such an awesome setting, and the world is amazing, and they took the Fallout 4 engine and they built upon it, and there's so much potential there, but then it has to be an MMO, and it's got all these stupid MMO elements in it, and I don't want any of that. I know they're trying to make it like a traditional Fallout game, but there's a difference between trying to make it like and actually having it be a traditional Fallout game.
Yeah, and it's hard to do in an MMO, framework. It's hard to transition that, I think. I wouldn't know the first thing about how to, transition that over. And as someone who loves Fallout, for me, I could see what they were doing with the holotapes, and I thought that was really interesting, telling the story that way. But it just felt so lonely and so sad. And for me, one of the biggest parts about Fallout is how communities come together or don't and try to survive, whether it's through fighting, through scavenging, through raiding, through building something new together.
Yep.
It's about people and rebuilding. And if there's no people, what's the point?
Yeah. Like if 76 was just a walking simulator, I'd be fine with that. Because again, the world is amazing in it.
It was awesome. They did a great job with it. I'd love to go visit Helvetia. I would love that.
In real life.
Yeah, it would be so great.
I actually genuinely have an interest in going to West Virginia now because of 76.
Right?
But I want to get back into it, but I don't know if I want to roll a new character. And again, the MMO element of it, just the fact that you really have to like grind for ammo and stim packs, and it's just I don't want that. I just want to be able to like find these things. I want to have the scrounger perk, and I want to just be able to find them in trash like every dumpster and every trash can. Open up a Nuka-Cola machine and find 4 stim packs in there. Like that's the Fallout experience.
Yeah, it was tough, and it was because of my build. You know, the build that I was using, I just used so much ammo. I was using the automatics, so I was just going through so much ammo. It was so hard for me to even stay on top of ammo. But stim packs, goodness, if you need a stim pack, I could not give that stuff away. I would find anyone level 1 on the map, and I would just harass them like, please take my stuff. I cannot carry another stim pack.
Well, I'm just playing it wrong then, because that was definitely not my experience.
Yeah, I'm telling you, hey, if you re-roll, the community is great. I you know, at least I played on PC. I can't vouch for, you know, how it is on consoles and stuff. But everyone was fantastic. I always had a great experience with, you know, even just meeting a rando.
Sure.
And then getting into the community and getting to know some of the people in the community. People are super generous in the 76 community.
I'm assuming you've played Elder Scrolls Online.
Yes, I really liked that as well. But it was hard to juggle the time commitment because at that point I was still doing a lot of 76. So there was just no way I could grind up an ESO and stay on top of 76 at the same time. That would be my job.
Yeah, ESO is, I like it, but it's so repetitive.
That too.
Yeah, it's why I don't really get in MMOs, is because like you have to have a certain level of patience for those types of games, and I don't have it. But talking about the community though, this was the weekend after Eddie Van Halen passed away a couple of years ago, and I don't remember where exactly I was. It was one of like the starter areas, I guess. It was a public area though, and someone was on top of a fountain with their voice chat open, just blasting Van Halen. And there was like a whole concert happening. Everyone like down there, they all had Slash Dance going. And I was there for a solid maybe hour. And it was some dude just playing Van Halen off Spotify through his voice chat. Like,
that's awesome.
Like, this is awesome. This is really cool, man. This is the kind of stuff I like.
Right. So I don't want to get too much into specifics, but there was a member of the 76 community who had passed away. And so what a lot of people did in the community was we got a server together full of folks, and people had made their own like memorial camps and stuff. And then we all got on a server, and it was to the point where like we were trying to get more people in the server. So we were trying to kick people out, and we'd go to people and we'd be like, hey, we're trying to do this thing, you know, would you mind, you know, popping out so we can try to get someone else out? Everyone was like, oh my gosh, absolutely, you know. So we had like this march through Appalachia, and we went through, you know, through different camps and to the different memorials. And it's amazing, you know, how communities can get together through something as, you know, silly as a video game. You know, you can really make some great connections and then celebrate people, you know, especially when we're so far away. You know, we couldn't all be together. I think it was in the middle of the pandemic. It was just so touching to see and to be a part of. It was amazing.
Yeah, I can only imagine that those communities really took off and really like got bigger. They expanded because of the pandemic.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And then if you think about it, for the landscape of gaming at that time, Animal Crossing had just, come out. And that was, I know for me personally, I needed Animal Crossing at that time. Like there was no way I could have dealt if I did not have Animal Crossing.
Yeah, same deal.
A lot of games like that, and then like Fall Guys wasn't too much later than that. All sorts of games like that. It was a lifesaver.
Yeah, I spent a good amount of time mid 2020 playing Animal Crossing. I kind of got back into it earlier this year. That was it. I haven't touched it in a long time.
I bounce in and out. Yeah.
But they had the advantage though of the pandemic. Nate Fillers does the podcast with us. Really wanted to switch, and he really wanted to play Animal Crossing, and he procured both mid 2020 and paid I think like 3 times the amount.
No.
Because of price gouging.
Yeah. Gosh, and he went through with it. He made the purchase. Whew.
Yeah, he did it.
If I could.
He did it, and like he's happy he has it, but at the same time, he's like, I should have. I didn't even told him, like, dude, you should have waited.
At what cost?
I know. I go to Target now. I go to Target all the time, and I always walk by the video game section, and they're just swimming in Switches.
And it's just there. But I mean, at the time, we were all starved. This was before anyone was comfortable on Zoom. The before times.
Yeah.
Before times.
You know what? I know that was like a long time of waiting, but all I wanted to do was talk about Fallout with you. Seriously.
Oh.
I'm so happy we finally got to have this conversation, and I'm sure there's a lot more to discuss about it.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I mean, like I was saying earlier, I've been dabbling in mods now that I'm going to wait until we're going to be 40 before another Fallout game comes out. So in the meantime, I've just been dabbling in mods, and some of them are pretty funny. The New Vegas randomizer mod is a hoot.
If a new Fallout game even comes out in our lifetimes.
Right.
Because first is Starfield, and that's coming out eventually. And then after that is Elder Scrolls 6, which might come out in the next decade. So, we'll be in the retirement home playing Fallout 5.
Probably, yeah. So
I hope they just set it somewhere really obscure. Like, stop doing the East Coast. I know we had Vegas, but stop doing the East Coast. Set it in like Wyoming or something. A state that no one cares about.
Right. Well, I mean, and it's funny because I used to do this other thing where it wasn't a podcast. It was like a YouTube video where a bunch of people from the community got together. And one of the questions we asked was, if there's, going to be another Fallout game anytime soon, where would you want to have it set? And, they've got a lot of stuff, especially the earlier stuff in the West Coast. Admittedly, I didn't play 1 and 2. I started with the 3D Fallouts.
Same.
So I don't really know a lot of that. And then you've got the East Coast, but then there's mods. Like, I don't think I played Fallout the Florida or Fallout Miami. I don't know if that mod came out.
I haven't. I'm the same. I've played a little bit of 1, but I never played 2 nor Tactics. Terrara has played all of them. He's played the fuck out of them.
Really?
He actually gave me on a USB drive somewhere the first 2.5 Fallout games.
Nice.
And then I was actually the one to introduce him to 3. That's how our friendship started. Thinking like working with this guy and not having anything in common with him, and I just started playing Fallout 3. And I remember we were in his car driving up to New Hampshire for a radio station event, and to break the ice, I'm like, "You ever play this game called Fallout?" And as he's driving, he like turns and takes his eyes off the road to stare at me and just goes, "I love Fallout." And that's
awesome.
And then it was history.
That was history.
But Yeah, I started with the 3D ones. I haven't played any of the total conversion mods.
Mhm.
But New Vegas. I mean, right now I'm in the midst of playthroughs across 3, New Vegas, and 4, like midway through, and I keep bouncing between them. And this is like where the ADD is really bad because I cannot. And the same thing, like this keeps happening with New Vegas, where I hit a certain point and then I stop, and then it gets to be just a point in time where I'm like, it's much easier for me to just restart the game. Like, just pick up. Like, I keep getting to free side, and then that's it. Like, I never get past free side.
That's where it starts getting going.
It's because I suck at everything. That's why.
You gotta do the route around. You gotta get the money. You gotta get into the strip, and then you gotta hit the casinos.
Yeah,
make all the money.
I one of my favorite mods. It's not even like I don't do the mods that like, and I've done them before, but I don't do the mods that turn like the Death Claws and the Macho Man Randy Savage.
Oh, it's so funny.
I do the mods that allow the strip to be open, where they take down the barriers. And one of my favorites is called Bottle That Water, which was it's specifically for hardcore mode, and it literally lets you recycle your water bottles so you can just keep refilling them rather than just burning through purified waters. Yeah. Like, why would you do it? Why would you just, like, in the post-apocalypse, drink out of a bottle of water and then just throw the bottle away?
Like, I don't need this anymore.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, right? Have you played any of the hardcore mods like Dust or Frost?
I think I did for New Vegas. I definitely did the version for Skyrim.
Okay, yeah. I tried both Dust and Frost, and it was a nightmare. It is so difficult. It's
not worth it.
I was so stressed. I really wish I had a heart rate monitor, because I could feel like a heart attack coming on. I was just like, any second now. So I had to put it down.
So have you done that for Skyrim?
No, I haven't played that one.
I think it's called Frostfall.
Frostfall.
Yeah, okay. There's a few different versions of it, and then you can combine them all together to get like the ultimate experience. Mm-hmm. But the mod is somewhat manageable and tolerable until you are to climb the steps to High Hrothgar, at which point it just becomes beyond impossible because now you're on a mountain.
Yeah,
a snowy mountain. With the troll, with the goddamn troll.
Yeah, and like it's half a hit and you're dead.
Yeah,
the games are unforgiving. I'm like, how could you? I've tried to get into Hollow Knight. Like, admittedly, I love it, but some of these games you have to be really good at.
There are some times where all I want to do, and I do this, I'll fire up Grand Theft Auto 5 and I'll steal a bicycle and I will just ride a bicycle around San Andreas and Los Santos.
Yeah. Right? You just cruise around.
Or I'll just walk around. I won't even do that. I'll just walk around. Like, I remember doing that one night, going into first person mode and like their version of Malibu and just walking down the beach. And when you're playing as Michael, you can at least, greet people and not insult them.
Yeah. Unlike Trevor.
Trevor, I learned some good lines from Trevor, though. One of my favorites, and it was appropriate, walking by this really fat lady and greeting her. And Trevor just goes, "You look like you struggle with simple tasks." And I'm like,
Trevor is absolutely, he's the worst, but in the best way.
And
he's the worst.
That guy's career of all the actors that were in the Grand Theft Auto games, that he's the only one who's had like a career that took off. Yeah, he was on The Walking Dead for a while. He was on Better Call Saul.
Oh wow!
And he was every time he'd pop up, he's always going to be Trevor. But
okay,
and he's typecast.
Yeah, that's kind of rough. But I mean, he's got a great voice for it.
What is Michael? I've seen Michael like pop up like on Law and Order. He usually does like smaller like bit roles.
Okay.
And Franklin is just riding that Grand Theft Auto 5 high. Even to the point, did you see this? Him and the guy that played Lamar recreated the scene where Lamar chews him out.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. That's amazing. I have to check that out. I
Yeah.
haven't seen that. That's so funny.
Yeah.
I think I did that because I did a randomizer. I did a randomizer run, which is so funny. If you, especially if you have like the Twitch chat integration, oh my gosh, your chat will absolutely sabotage you. So it was during that scene, but I think some shenanigans were going on in the background, like a car exploded in the background or something. No, I think the time slowed down. And so he was like talking really slow. And it was just, it's the best. That's so funny that they did that.
On this show back in, I mean, it wasn't really appropriate no matter what period of time it was, but a long time ago, I used to play that entire unedited exchange. And then people got upset about it because obviously there's words in it that you shouldn't use. And then like within the last couple of years, now it's a meme, and it's been
now it comes
everywhere.
back.
Yeah, and it's and unedited. It doesn't matter like what version you do. Like I've seen a Sonic the Hedgehog version, and it's and they don't censor anything. And I'm like,
Sonic version. Okay.
People are getting mad at me for playing it, and then there's 100 different versions of it out there. So
you just missed the time. Your timing was all off.
I truly was the Sega Dreamcast. I was ahead of my time.
I'm just a breaks kid.
I have in every room in my house a Vault Boy bobblehead.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, I've got a little Vault Boy. It's kind of hard to see him, but I've got like a little Link over there, and then there's a teeny tiny little Vault Boy hanging out right there.
I see him.
It's a Nendoroid, I think they're called.
Yeah, it's like a knockoff Funko.
And he's got like a bunch of different like heads and faces and stuff right here, but I got a little Vault Boy guy right there.
I see your Link, and then I see your Tom Nook as well.
Yes. Yep. I've got my Tom Nook. He's gonna break my kneecaps and because I owe him money. I've got some Hollow Knight. I've got some Hollow Taco. That is a big Fallout blanket over there.
Nice.
So my nerd stuff we're getting there.
I have and now it's all disheveled, but that blanket that you see on the couch there is a Vault Boy blanket. But that's my dog's blanket, so it's nothing short of a mess.
Of course, naturally.
But I've got in this room I've got a just the generic Vault Boy bobblehead. But in most rooms in the house, though, it's a different type, like strength, perception, charisma. I found endurance yesterday. I think that was I don't know if my garage and my basement count.
But
it
counts.
Okay, so I need to find 2 more then.
Okay, and then you've got all of the special.
Yes, I think I have.
That's awesome.
I think at this point I have all, if not most, of the special. Yeah. Because they did a whole set for Fallout 4, and then they did a set for 76, and you can usually find them at Target. Like every once in a while, I go into Target and I see them in stock, and I'm getting to the point now where I have duplicates.
Okay, I gotta check it out. I gotta get some more Fallout swag.
Yeah,
I approve of your decorating decisions. That's fantastic. Of course, have a bobblehead in every room.
Hell, if Terrara doesn't want it, I could send you the strength one I got yesterday by accident.
Oh.
But yeah, I have one in every room because why the hell not?
Because it only makes sense.
I want people to who aren't familiar with the franchise too to come in and look around and be like, who are these little guys that you have? Because there's
why do you have one of these in every room?
Walking up the stairs, there's one there. In the living room, there's one there. In the kitchen, in the bedroom, in all the bathrooms.
What's your deal, man?
Just these little blonde hair guys just staring at me.
Who is this man?
So yeah, if you might be able to find them at Target because, like I said, it's been several years now since the last Fallout game came out, and I'm still finding Vault Boys at Target. So
yeah, keep my eyes peeled.
But anyway, So Fallout 4. What did you think about Fallout 4? I know we were talking earlier about like being in Boston and what like you seeing the advertisements everywhere, but I don't think I asked your actual like opinion and your I guess review now several years after the fact of Fallout 4 because that was something that you and I were really looking forward to.
Yes. And so when it came out, I legitimately took time off of work. I took a week off of work to play the game.
Hell yeah, me too.
I had to. I was like, you know what? I am 25. I'm an adult. I'm taking a week off. They're like, where are you going?
Boston.
Home. I'm going home. See ya.
I'm going to. But you live in Boston.
Exactly right. But no, I loved it when it came out. I really enjoyed myself when it came out. It was, there's so much hindsight now that goes into it. The voice protagonist. I know a lot of people didn't really like that. I didn't mind that so much. I liked it. I guess I didn't really notice that you didn't really get a lot of options in terms of dialogue. That was a complaint that a lot of people had.
Yeah.
I didn't really have an issue with that. Because I always kind of play the same character going through everything anyway. I always just try to be like a helpful, good person. And that's the way that the storyline kind of naturally tries to, get you through the story. So I really enjoyed my time. And then I thought the DLCs were great. Unpopular opinion, I preferred Nuka-World over Far Harbor. But I can totally understand why people loved Far Harbor. It was legitimately fantastic. I just liked, the kitschiness of Nuka-World better. So I liked it. I really liked it then. I can understand people's, critiques about it now. I didn't really have an issue with it, but I can understand where people are coming from. I thought the DLCs were done fine. I can also kind of understand people's frustration with some of the DLCs, like what was it? There was a DLC that was just about like building.
Oh yeah,
okay, well that's really not much there.
Was it just called like Workshop?
It was like Workshop or something like that. So it wasn't even really like a DLC. Admittedly, I mean, gosh, New Vegas's DLC is no contest.
Oh my God.
Hands down better.
Yeah. Lonesome Road. Holy shit.
Honestly, Old World. Okay.
I want
into this.
Okay, I want to hear what you think about this.
Okay.
Can I? Okay. While you think about it, if I may elicit this reaction from you.
Exactly.
I have.
That's how I'm feeling right now.
I have never played Nuka-World.
Wait, can you play that again?
The sound drop?
Yes. How?
I have the season pass. I just never got to it.
Play it.
I need to. I have no excuse.
What are you doing?
This is like how I'm just getting into Point Lookout in Fallout 3. It just it's ADD. I cannot stay focused on anything for too long. That's why the name of the show is called Hardly Focused.
Fair, but I'm gonna give you a homework assignment. You're gonna need to do the DLCs, and then I want a 3-page report on my desk about how Nuka-World is superior to Far Harbor.
You just copied all this off the wiki.
I know, right? And I'm gonna be checking the wiki.
Okay.
All right. There better not be any plagiarism. I want APA citations.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Jesus. Yeah, well, you're still in school. Okay, so
I know. I just learned APA citation, to be fair.
This is all still fresh in your mind. I hear that, and I'm having flashbacks.
Yeah, right. No, this is my everyday.
Yeah. I will get to it eventually. Because if I'm sitting around, I'm thinking like, what haven't I played yet? I should just fire up 4 and just start Nuka-World.
You should.
I don't even know where I'm at, and I think I'm at almost the end of the main campaign anyway in 4. So I'm I think I'm at a level now where I can go to Nuka-World and not get obliterated.
Yeah, now's the time to do it. Yeah. So for 4, do you use power armor or no?
That is a really good question because I have I think like 5 sets and I swap between them. But it's almost like an element of RP because like, okay, if I want to wear power armor, I got to go back to Sanctuary and swap, and it's a whole to do, and things that should only take me a couple minutes to accomplish end up taking like a half an hour because there's the travel time and the swapping and the repairing and then I have like armor that looks cool that I want to wear but is garbage when it comes to stats, and then armor that doesn't look cool but is great when it comes to stats. So my life is very difficult is what I'm saying.
I completely sympathize. I will give another shout out for Nuka-World. If you like power armor, there's really cool power armor in Nuka-World. Just saying.
And you only get it in Nuka-World?
But yeah. I'm sorry?
Do you only get it in Nuka-World?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So if for no other reason, then you need the power armor. But yeah, for 4, I was always in power armor. 3, I didn't bother with it because you had to do like the special Brotherhood of Steel stuff. And I never really, I know the whole story was like with them, but I never really got into, using power armor for there. And then New Vegas, I think was the same way where you had to do training.
Yeah.
Before I couldn't get through it without power armor.
I don't think I've ever worn power armor in New Vegas.
And it was so broken because I was playing like a sneaky sniper, but stomping around in power armor, and somehow it worked.
If your sneak is at 100, then like the laws of physics are
but I'm like,
defied.
Doom, 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 doom.
And they still
and
can't
people don't see me.
Yeah, 3, right now I'm like swapping between Enclave and Tesla armor.
Yep.
But I don't remember the last time I played Fallout 3 ever having power armor.
Yeah, I think it was like hard to get. You had to do, I never did it, but you had to get some kind of training, I think, or a special skill with them. I can't quite remember how to do it. I never did it.
You have to go to the Citadel and not piss the Citadel off.
I was probably sassy at the Citadel.
Okay, that makes sense.
Got a little sassy at the Citadel. No power armor for me.
The first time I played Fallout 3 too, I really didn't know how to like build a character and didn't really know how to do anything. So
yeah.
Now I know like what you pump your stats into, what specials you take, and
exactly.
Yeah, it's a lot. Despite my best efforts, my characters always end up being like super suave and super intelligent, and I can pass speech checks like.
But they're fun. I like the speech checks.
My New Vegas playthrough right now, I'm playing. I'm envisioning him as like. Like every bully that you see in every cartoon, like you're Binky from Arthur or Harold from Hey Arnold, where like super strong, but your intelligence is 0.
I mean, for New Vegas, that's even funny too. Like New Vegas was amazing. Like it just all around did a great job.
New Vegas is a masterpiece.
It really is. Like, and I can get past the graphics. Some people can't. I can get past. I don't care that everyone looks like a potato and everything's orange.
Yeah.
Fine by me.
And actually having been to that general area now too, I can tell you they didn't screw around when it came to the world building.
Is it just orange?
It is just orange, yeah. Being in the actual Mojave Desert will make you wish for a nuclear winter.
Okay. So see, they were on to something.
But I spent a lot of time last year in Prim.
Oh, okay.
And by a lot of time, I mean like, I didn't like I stopped like to and from my way to Vegas and out of Vegas, but like actually like took the time to walk around and explore. And cool. It's exactly what you see in the game.
Really?
Yeah, it's all there.
That's awesome.
They didn't mess with it. Even like the Vicky and Vance casino, for example.
Yeah.
One of the casinos actually has the Bonnie and Clyde Museum in it, which is what that's based off of.
Yep. With the car and yeah.
Yeah. So it's but the amusement park is there, the roller coaster. It wasn't open last time I was there. I don't know if it was because of COVID or for other reasons, but What you see in the game is there in real life. Like, video games taught me about something.
Did you have to be careful crossing the bridge for the landmines?
Oh, I definitely blew my leg off.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Your immersion was complete then. You got the complete experience.
I blew my leg off, and then I slept for an hour, woke up, and I was at perfect health.
Right as rain.
So Good Springs is also a real town.
Yeah.
You drive off of, as you're driving down 5 back to Los Angeles, you can get off the highway. There are signs for it. And it's about like maybe a 10-minute drive just down like this 2-lane road that just cuts right through the middle of the desert. And Good Springs itself is just this little town, exactly as you see it in the game. It's a stop for bikers. Like, bikers will just stop there, but there's a cafe and there's the general store, and you go inside the general store and it's just decked out in Fallout swag.
After all these years, that's awesome.
Yeah, they said,
I love that.
I was talking to someone that worked there, and they said that their tourism went up because of the game, and that they love it. People like me just come by just to take pictures and just see, like, you know, what they have there. And they even said that, I guess it was under new ownership, and they were going to renovate the entire place to actually have it look like how it does in the game.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, I got nervous for a second. I was like, oh my gosh, don't take all this away. Phew, they would just want to preserve it.
No, in fact, awesome. they're going to give into it even more than they already have. Because before
that's
it was
so cool.
Before it was just like I said, it was just a biker stop, and then it was immortalized in a video game, and now all of a sudden tourism skyrockets for this quite literal village in the middle of the desert.
I mean, after so many years too. Gosh, I mean, New Vegas has been around for over 10 years, right?
2010.
Or is it just 2010? Yep. Gosh, 12 years then.
Yeah, because I remember it was for my 21st birthday. The timing was perfect when it came out.
Oh man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I remember playing that game, and I remember loving going to the casino, playing blackjack, and then playing Caravan. I love Caravan.
Okay, I've never played Caravan. I cannot figure Caravan out.
It's so easy.
I'm a simple man.
It's so easy. I love Caravan. Okay, I'll tell you how to make a good deck. You're just going to stack your deck with a bunch of like 10s and 9s. Get a bunch of jacks, get a bunch of kings in there, and then like 2s and 3s. You just play either side.
Okay.
But you got to sabotage the other guy.
Okay.
I'll tell you all about it.
All right. I'm lazy. I'm a simple man, but I will take you up on this. Yeah, there's always that dude, whatever his name is, that's hiding out in the gas station in Good Springs.
Ringo.
Yeah, that wants to teach me how to play, and I'm like, I'm in a period of indecisiveness right now, because do I want to help you, or do I want to sell you out to the powder gangers? Do I want to take over the town? I don't have time to play Caravan right now. I don't have the mental capacity to play Caravan right now.
That's fair. That's fair. You got a lot to juggle.
I have never once sided with Caesar's Legion.
No, I couldn't. And, you know, from what I understand, the way that the game was developed, it was a very short timeline, so they couldn't really flesh out a story from that perspective. I think, I never say this name right, but Ulysses was supposed to be like a Legion companion, like back earlier in the development of the game, and they just never got around to being able to doing it or whatever. Take all this with a grain of salt. But my understanding is that Obsidian didn't get a chance really to flesh that part out. But then again, are you going to side with a bunch of slavers? Like, where is the incentive? Yeah. I have no incentive to join this group.
I can't do it. I've done every other like possible outcome with that game, and a lot of them aren't as like they're really no better than siding with the Legion, but I just morally cannot side with the Legion.
Well, that's one of the great things about New Vegas is that none of the endings are good, right? Because if you take especially Lonesome Road as canon, eventually the tunnelers are going to come in and just decimate the area anyway.
Yeah.
Everyone's doomed. And I love those kinds of stories where it's like you did your part and yeah, you saved the day, but not really, because ultimately, something else is gonna come and ruin everything anyway.
Right. You quite literally saved the day.
The day.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, who knows what's gonna happen?
Yeah. Tomorrow it's gonna get all fucked up. What does it matter? Yeah. So New Vegas DLC, absolutely phenomenal. Only played through all of it once. I heard you start to say something about Old World Blues.
I was gonna list my favorite DLCs in order.
Okay.
So I know that the story. Ooh, do I know the story order? Actually, I'm forgetting it because it's been a little while.
That's
I know
a good
Lonesome
question.
Road obviously is the last one. I don't know if it starts with Honest Hearts. I wasn't crazy about Honest Hearts. That one didn't capture me. I got lost a million times and everything looked the same.
Yeah,
I was in a canyon.
It gets repetitive, and because that's the one where like the last like third of it, you're on a highway, right? You're on like an elevated highway.
No, that's Lonesome Road.
Okay, what was Honest Hearts?
Honest Hearts was the one where I think, do you go to Utah? You're like in the canyon and you're going around with the white legs and
that's Zion. Yeah, Zion.
Zion. You're going to Zion, yeah.
Okay.
Which is that Utah?
That is, yeah.
Yeah, okay, with the Mormons, yeah. Okay. Sorry. And then Mormons are in New Vegas and it's full circle. But yeah, I wasn't crazy about that one. Lonesome Road was interesting. It definitely did feel like a Lonesome Road, and the monsters were so tough. Those were the tunnelers. That one ended a little underwhelming for me. It was supposed to be this big moment where they're like, you were the one who started all of this. Spoilers for a game that's 12 years old, by the way.
Right.
But like, you're the reason that the divide is the divide. And it's like, okay, cool. But I wasn't there. So,
Yep.
So that one was okay. Old World Blues was amazing.
That one's very narrative heavy.
Loved it. The dialogue is amazing. I love going to the think tank and listening to all of the different scientists just blabber and just be ridiculous. Like, that is so funny. Dr. Mobius is hilarious. Is his name Dr. Mobius?
Yeah,
whatever it is.
I've only played it once. It's almost a decade ago. And it's all robots too, right? Like, there's no humans.
Well, there are lobotomites where it's like skeletons in these animation suits. Like,
oh, right.
The scientists just screwed over the area entirely, just went wild with their experiments. It was just so funny.
Yep.
And then, sorry, cut this out.
Dead Money?
Dead Money. Thank you. Dead Money was so good. Dead Money was the best one.
The Sierra Madre Casino.
It was the best one.
With the gas that isn't it like a gaseous cloud that is just enveloping the whole area?
The noxious cloud. And like I said, so there's a couple ways that things can end for the Mojave. One of them is the tunnelers eventually will come and, destroy everything because that's what they do. Another one is, depending on how you end Dead Money, is the poisonous cloud could go over to the Mojave, and that could be how things end before the tunnelers. I don't know if both happen. I think it just depends on how you end. That name again, I apologize.
The DLC.
Dead Money.
Dead
Sorry,
Money.
Dead Money. I think it depends on how you end it, because there's a few different ways you can end that DLC. But yeah, I like how both of those tied into the fates. And then what was the last one? There was one more. Oh, it was I think it was just the gun runner's arsenal.
Oh, yeah.
The extra items.
Yeah, that's like super overpriced too.
Oh, but the weapons are amazing. That's the thing. You got to play Caravan. You got to get everybody's money, and then maybe you'll be able to afford a gun.
Maybe. Yeah. The order.
Maybe you'll have 30 grand.
The order that you play it in, by the way, is Dead Money, Honest Hearts, Old World Blues, and then Lonesome Road.
And then Lonesome Road.
Yeah.
Really? I thought Dead Money was later, but
I know Dead Money was the first one to come out. The order that I played it in was Dead Money, Old World, Lonesome Road, and then Honest Hearts.
I think I was the same way as you, but flip-flopping the last two. I think I did Honest Hearts before Lonesome Road.
I totally fucked up. It took me 3 tries before I figured out I was doing something wrong. At the beginning of Honest Hearts, like firing at something when I wasn't supposed to fire at it and pissing off the tribe. And they're all coming after me, and then I realized there's a whole a whole scripted event that's supposed to happen, and you just don't do anything. Let it happen.
Yep. That's the same thing. I showed someone New Vegas, and the first thing they did was just completely shot up Good Springs, and I was like, "That's not."
I did that too.
I was like, I didn't think you would do that, and then you did that. I was like, oh, that's one way to play the game, I guess.
I was always so conditioned into when you leave. What the hell town
Doc
is
Mitchell's?
It? No, it's the town where you first encounter the Legion and they've killed everybody.
Nipton,
yeah. You leave Nipton and like you're traveling now through that little canyon, and you can come across a encampment where the Legion has, I think it's a bunch of like NCR held captive.
Yep.
And this is the first time I haven't done this. I always would go up there and kill all the Legionnaires and save whoever's there, and then there gets to be a point where just random groups of Legionaries will come after me and always kick my ass. I just realized during this playthrough I could skip all of that and never have to worry about it. And I was always just constantly making things more difficult for me than need be.
Yep. It's I think they did a good job with the reputation. Now that I'm saying that, I'm gonna backtrack a little bit, because like you could do so much, like as long as you offset enough things, you could still have like really good karma. But yeah, if you have bad reputation with either one, if you were to do it the flip side and join Caesar's Legion, and then you'd get vilified with the NCR. You'll have NCR Rangers coming in and finding you. So the sweet spot is to have like neutral karma, because then neither group will send parties after you. Until
you meet, what's his face there? Yes Man. Because then once you meet Yes Man, then everything temporarily resets. So you have the opportunity to kind of go back and make amends with people.
Yep. That's when, what's his name? Vulpes Inculta comes over with a coin from Caesar, and he's like, hey, come on over to the fort. And I'm like, I think about it, and I'm like, if that was me, right, and a group of slavers wanted to be like, hey, we're going to forgive all your past transgressions, come on over to our fort. No way in hell. Like, whoa, there's no way I'm going to be coming back from that. Right. How would I ever trust that? Are you kidding me? A 5-foot tall woman? I am not going to go into Legion territory.
I have done
without like a bazooka.
I've done that once, and I was OP enough that I obliterated everything. It feels
so good to clear that camp.
Including Caesar. I killed everybody.
Oh, yeah. I made sure to bring Boone, too.
Yep. Oh, it was so worth it.
Oh, yeah.
And it's worth it to just watch the animation come up of all the quests that you have now failed because you killed everybody.
Yep. You're like, worth it. I don't care.
Don't care about that one. Don't care about that one.
Yep.